intuitive way. Just you don't think about the functions that you have on your phone. Use it.
Okay, sorry. We're just going to a tunnel,
Yeah.
so we're going to lose light. Hey everyone, welcome back to Sgcarmart Drive. So today we have with us Markus Schuster. He is the Managing Director of Audi Singapore. So Markus, thanks so much for taking some time out of your busy schedule, I'm sure, to sit down with us and have a little chat. So the last time we've seen each other, we were actually all the way back in Germany, and that was,
fun.
2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, just about 2 weeks ago. And we were at really Audi's home, right? So we're in Ingolstadt. So we know that you've been with Audi basically your whole life. Is that fair to say?
Almost feels like it.
So it's been
20 years.
20 years, right? So, I mean, I do want to ask you, 20 years is a long time. And I think, especially in the car industry, these past 20 years, I think, has seen a lot of change. So, what's changed about the business and what's changed about the cars, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think in the whole car industry, and especially for Audi also, there were so many changes in the last 20 years. It's incredible. When I think back, and when I joined Audi, it was all about building the fastest car, the most powerful car. It was all ICE cars, so internal combustion engine. There were no electric cars around. A lot of the stuff was mechanical, so you were still able to fix a car in a mechanical way, right? Now, everything is digital in the car. We're shifting to EVs, so to electric mobility, and also the business, I feel, has completely changed the way we do our business. Back then, it was car manufacturers were building cars, and then they were selling cars, and that was basically the business model, right? And that has completely changed now that car companies and also Audi are becoming more mobility providers. So they're moving away from just this business model of selling cars and making money from it, to really being there for the customer over the whole life cycle, even for customers who don't own an Audi or some other car. So we have, for example, Audi On Demand, which is a program where you can just rent an Audi for shorter duration or some months. So even if you don't buy an Audi, you're able to kind of own an Audi whenever you want to.
We just concluded the Audi House of Progress quite recently, and we definitely saw some very futuristic, slightly conceptual tech there that I hope one day makes it into real cars, like, we saw the Grand Sphere concept. And of course, the brand is driven by technology, right? So for you personally, what most excites you about car technology?
I think, as you've seen at the House of Progress and with all the concept cars, the Sphere cars that we've brought out, it's basically putting together all these technologies to create completely new concepts. So you have the Grand Sphere, for example, which is constructed around the driver and around the consumer that is sitting inside the car, and it's more like a lounge on wheels. It's more like a private jet on wheels that you have. So these technologies that we have, be it autonomous driving, EVs, and the whole digitalization, give the designers and developers much more freedom to develop something that is much more human-centric.
So what do you say to people who are still unconvinced about electric cars?
Well, it's so first thing, I think every consumer has to decide which concept is the best concept for them. So the ICEs, the internal combustion engine cars that we have in the market now, those are the best internal combustion engine you could ever buy. So also buying one of those cars, it's not a bad choice. I think the important thing is for everybody to just try both concepts out, to try an electric car and think about if they could live with that on a daily basis, if it's convenient for them. And what we will see also over the next years is a huge growth in the charging infrastructure. And I think this is key for Singapore, because Singapore is perfect for electric cars. People drive on average 30 kilometers per day.
Not very
so
far.
there is no range anxiety, really.
Definitely.
But still, people need to have the opportunity to charge their car on a regular basis.
I think it's a question of availability. So like when we were in Germany, I thought one of the interesting things was that you really do see charging sort of stations almost everywhere. We were at that restaurant and there was a small, 10-lot outdoor car park, and there was still one charging station there. So I think that's, the next big step. Perhaps to sort of move backwards slightly, I think I do want to talk about the R8. You know, when talking about internal combustion engines, I'm sure that's a car that's very dear to you, very familiar to you. So it's gone, right? It's this.
Well, it's still here, but there won't be a successor to that car.
It's on its way out. So. How do you feel about it? You know, you were responsible for bringing this car into the world effectively.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, I was the product manager for the German market for the R8 when it was launched, so it's very close to my heart. And I'm sure I'm gonna miss a car like the R8. On the other hand, if I think of driving the RS e-tron GT, for example, there are a lot of genes that our developers took from those super sports cars from the past and put them into the new electric super sports cars, which have, if you just look at the numbers, absolutely incredible,
scary numbers,
incredible numbers. So acceleration from 0 to 100 in 3.2 seconds. That is something you could almost not reach with an internal combustion engine in the past. Those was the super high end.
Definitely.
And you have that now, and it's equally exciting. It's a different kind of excitement, but those cars are highly emotional.
So perhaps in your opinion, what's fundamental about a car that makes it good, and what makes a car iconic?
So I think a car, to be iconic, it really has to stand out from the rest, and that's a lot about design. It's a lot about the driving emotions that car gives, and it's about uniqueness. It really has to be something that is new, that is kind of stunning. When the TT came out, end of the 90s, that was completely new for Audi. That completely broke with any design language that Audi had before that.
Yeah, I mean, before that was just three-box, four-door car, right?
That's why it became so iconic, and that's why it also shifted the perception of Audi so much. Same thing with the R8. When it came out for the first time, people were just wowed. Like, you have to blow people away with the concept.
So maybe I do want to talk about your experience here in Singapore. So you've been here 4 years now? Almost 4 years. So for someone who's visiting for the first time, perhaps you have a family member, a friend who's coming here for the first time, what's the number one thing that you would tell them to do?
Oh man, that's a difficult one. I always have this question when people...
I'm sure people ask you all the time.
So I think there are a lot of places that you need to experience in Singapore. Probably if you only have one day, the best thing is really to do this immersion in the different aspects of Singapore, to go to CBD, to go to Gardens by the Bay, to experience this super modern, futuristic feeling, and then at the same time to see the old part of Singapore. So I live in the East Coast at Joo Chiat, and there you have all these beautiful old,
I love the area.
Peranakan shop houses and these, and I think that's always what I feel when guests come over. What they're most amazed at is this diversity that you have of modern and traditional.
I mean, it's that juxtaposition, right, between like stuff from the early 1900s and then stuff that was built 2 years ago.
And what I always tell people, okay, so try to do in one day, go to Chinatown, go to Little India, go to Arab Street, and to these cultural diverse backgrounds, and see how diverse Singapore is, and that's what amazes people the most.
I understand that you're big on cycling.
Yeah.
How's it like cycling in this weather? You know, just the first question.
It's very hot. The good thing in Singapore, you can cycle all year, which is something that is difficult in Germany, where half of the year the weather is bad. It's very hot. That's why you go early in the morning.
Start like 4 in the morning.
But it's fun because you get to see a lot of the island that normally you wouldn't see.
Yeah, definitely. But I guess there is that age-old question. How do you think cyclists and drivers can better coexist on roads? Because I used to cycle many years ago. Yeah. And I must say, it's still quite an intimidating experience to be a cyclist on the roads here. Yeah. So do you feel the same way? And how do you think these two sort of elements can better coexist?
To be honest, I mean, cycling has picked up a lot during the pandemic, during lockdown, and in the beginning there was a lot of conflict between cyclist drivers. I feel that has improved a lot. So I feel that drivers are getting more used to having cyclists on the road, and also cyclists managing the traffic better. You always have the random uncle that's going against traffic, but this is something you will also have in 10 years from now. But in general, I feel that the kind of coexistence is getting better. The most important thing is to be concentrated and to always assume that somebody could make a mistake, and then you're safe.
I understand you enjoy skiing as well.
Yeah.
Not much of a skiing scene here in Singapore. So where's the best place for you in terms of where's the best skiing spot that you've ever gone to?
So I just checked the #1 spot on my bucket list this year. Went to Niseko in Hokkaido, Japan. Nice. So that's something I always wanted to do. And awesome. It is fantastic.
Nice. Okay, well, we're just reaching our office. I have a few more questions, but we'll do that up in the studio. Everyone, so we are back here in the studio. Markus is here and he's already started on the little racetrack. So forward. Yeah. So while you're practicing, we'll still. I still have a few more questions, just some quick fire questions while you're practicing. While you practice. So, this will take a bit of getting used to. Some quick questions. I do wonder about food. You know, you said you live in the Joo Chiat area.
Yeah.
So what's your go-to sort of local food? You know, there's plenty of good stuff around there.
Man. So I'm really into seafood. So I really love the East Coast Lagoon food village there, because they have all the seafood, like all the chili crab and the cereal prawn and all that kind of stuff.
So you're properly local now.
You have to, right?
Yeah, definitely. And so is it fair to say that's your go-to place to eat in terms of like a local, like hawker kind of place?
I think so. So that would be my favorite hawker center, because you're also kind of like by the sea and you get a nice breeze coming in.
So many options, right? There's everything there. I guess the obvious question, durians, yes, no, maybe?
To be honest, no.
Like real hard.
No, the thing is, I don't mind the smell, because it always reminds me of traveling in Southeast Asia.
Okay.
So that's fine. I just don't like the consistency, and also the taste is...
I mean, is it the consistency
it's
like custard?
Particular.
Weird custard.
So it's something, I usually eat everything, and I tried it, it's okay. I wouldn't have it on a daily basis.
So I guess, you know, what's the best thing about living here, in your opinion?
I think it's really, it's the people you meet every day. I'm stuck here.
Don't worry. Hand of God. If you had to pick one worst thing about being in Singapore?
It's probably the humidity.
The heat and the humidity.
Not so much the heat, the humidity.
Yeah.
That point where you open your wardrobe and you realize that your belts start molding because it's just so humid.
I remember when we got back from, when I got back from Munich, when we were in Munich, I literally walked out of the airport, and Munich weather was good when we were there, right? It was like 15 degrees, sun was out. I walked out of the airport and I swear I could not breathe.
Yeah, the humidity just hits you.
Impossible to take a breath.
Yeah.
What's your favorite holiday destination then?
Japan and Italy. Those two.
Those are very different kinds of places.
I love traveling around Southeast Asia, but if I had only 2 countries, it's because I used to live in Italy, so it's always nice to come back. And I've been to Japan several times, and I always loved it. And there's so many other places to see in Japan which I haven't seen yet. So,
okay, last question. If you had to have a Mount Rushmore of Audis, you know, you've spent 20 years with the brand, you've seen a lot of cars come and go. If you had to pick the top 3 Audis of all time, what's on the list?
Oh man. That's a difficult one because there's so many.
So many.
If I think of, let's say, historic cars, it's probably the Ur-Quattro.
The original Quattro?
The original Quattro, the short wheelbase. I think the second one for me would be definitely the TT, because I used to work as a product manager for the TT, and it really changed a lot for Audi.
Yeah.
And I guess also the R8 performance.
I feel like you're obliged to have to pick that car.
Definitely, I feel kind of very connected to that car. If it was about our current lineup, probably my favorite car at the moment is the e-tron GT or RS e-tron GT because it's just so different to drive to all these other cars that we've had in the past.
Well, you already set a time?
Yeah, let's try. Let's try if I can beat Chairman Kui.
Yeah.
Can we safely assume that the next car could quite possibly be an... stop knocking my car.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you want me to set a time first? Okay, I guess you can go warm up your car, warm up the tires.
That's a nice one.
It's green, just like your RS3.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking of that.
Almost like. Okay, so when do I...
I'll call.
Okay.
On go, okay? Ready, set, go.
Oh man, you are good.
No! I've improved.
Okay.
Any particular preference?
At the outside.
The outside. Truly competitive. It's okay, I get it.
So the first ones are easy, and here it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Set, go.
I feel mine is slower.
I think they're set up the same.
Ah.
And cross the line. So,
How much was it?
want to have a guess your timing?
15 at least.
Okay, your timing is 17.2 seconds.
Whoa. Can we go again?
Sure.
We got all day, right?
We've got all day.
We got all day.
Try the blue car.
Yeah, I tried the blue.
Yeah, same.
Okay, we take it as that tick did not happen, right? So this is the first run. Is it faster? Do you think it's faster?
It feels faster.
It's faster. That's smart.
Hey, no, I never do it.
Yeah.
I never do anything. I turn up and
Yeah,
play.
this one is faster.
Okay. Try.
Ready, set,
Oh.
False start.
okay. Ready, set, go.
No. Okay, I'll go. Let me try one more time. Last time.
Ready, set, go.
Well, it seems like a half decent lap. So improvement, you think?
Might be.
Might be.
Might be.
So Marcus, your lap time is 14.48.
All
That's a
right,
good
that's
time.
all right.
Good time. Good
I'm
timing.
happy
Good
with
timing.
that.
Good timing.
I'm happy with that.
So Marcus, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us and to have a little fun, much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but perhaps any last things you want to say to anyone watching?
Yeah, guys, so thanks for watching the whole video and following us. That was really cool. And I hope to see you soon, hopefully behind the wheel of an Audi. All right?
All right, guys, so thanks so much for watching. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And of course, also hit the notification button so you will be alerted of all our upcoming videos. And you can also find us on TikTok at Sgcarmart. So thanks for watching. Marcus, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks.
We'll see you soon. Bye.
I still haven't found the right breaking points.
Breaking? What breaking? I don't know what you're talking about. Power all the way.
A few moments later.
There used to be a point where I could do this. Used to being the keyword.